Lieutenant, ladies and gentlemen. And now would you give a warm welcome to Mr. Weisen.
I'm a third generation German. In World War II, one of the things that the United States did was to inter a lot of first and second generation Japanese. And there was some sentiment about doing the same thing to the Germans. And, had this happened, certainly my parents would have suffered the same indignities that the Japanese did. And, I feel rather strongly about all this. This being Pearl Harbor Day, I wrote a poem that I'm not going to read here because I didn't think it's quite appropriate because of this language that has to do with my feelings about the United States and that internment of the Japanese. But the interesting part about it was that when I was thinking about this poem and when I was writing it, I was working as a secretary at Harvard, and the day I was kind of writing this, I was supposed to send this fax to Japan, to Yokohama, and the number on the fax wasn't quite right, so I ended up talking to the operator in Yokohama, and she said she couldn't decode the fax number, and I ended up having to call Washington, D.C. to have them decode it. So I thought that was another interesting little occurrence, but I would like to share with you some poems about war and what I see going on now in Saudi Arabia, and I hope can come to a peaceful settlement. But these poems are about what I see war bringing to us. And the first one is called After the War. After the war, the dead are dead. The dying reach out for a hand made tight by too many tales, by too many tears, by too many nights with too many prayers, with too little hope. Heaven gets clear through a pale of blood and the teeth of the dog that haunts the nights. Yeah, heaven's brought home for the folks to see, but they smile at words that sound more like hell. After the war, the dead are dead. The dying reach out with a hand that asks, why not you too? And the next poem is one that I wrote after seeing Born on the 4th of July, which has to do with paraplegics and war. And it's called Born on the 4th of July. We marched through the streets without arms swaying, the beat of a drum stilled in a war without hope. We looked through our eyes without love yearning, the beat of a heart loud in the chest without cry. We looked through the crowds without tears searching, the beat of a life lost in a land without dreams. And the next two are more came about for me in an experience in my home where I lived. The young man, the grandson of the landlord, has gone off to Saudi Arabia. And I think about my own son who's in graduate school now. Perhaps he'll be going off to Saudi Arabia too someday. So it was a very deep sentiment for me to see this young man go. And the first one, I play the drum on this, but notice my drum here, so we'll see how this works out. This is called They're Sending Johnny to War. They're sending Johnny to war. Tan sandy clothes to hide him from sight, words to fend off the doubts. They're giving Johnny a gun. Loaded and pointed and ready to shoot, missiles to use if he must. They're telling Johnny to fight. Bury the dead on cold rainy nights, soften the words with our pride. The heroes live on in our minds, with tales to fear the ears of the kids, to strengthen the voices of no. That's the drums. The next one has to do pretty much with John, who's the boy, and is going off, and it's called Walk to the Maiden's Cry. The young man, barely shut of the boy, is off to the beat of another's drum, off to the cheers, off to the wails. Oh, wish ye well, oh, come and sit, oh, walk to a maiden's cry. Come sit a while, tell me again the name of the tune they sing. Come back again, I'll tell you of ships and sounds of the roving moon. Be off, my lad, be off. And finally, I was down in Boston last night, and I was looking at all the lights of Christmas and all the merriment of Christmas and the singing. And I just thought about this poem. It's called Yes All. Not all can see those lights perched upon wintering leafless trees. Not all. Not all can hear these bells asking for pennies for the poor. Not all. Not all can say these words, bringing forth joyous Yuletide cheer. Not all. But all, dear God, tell me all can fill these prayers, offering thanks for life. Yes, all.